And people say, well, do you have like a vegan, plant-based, or do you have a high protein, low carbohydrate diet? To me, I have my own philosophy on that, obviously, but the whole thing is it's not the food itself, it's what we put on it. It's what we put on it. If you have something simple like a potato or rice, it's what you put on it. Do you realize a salad portion should be like 100 calories? It's not even. A pound of salad, just to be really technical about it, is 100 calories. Okay? When you go in these restaurants and you look on the menu, they have the calories there. The salad's 1,200 calories. It's the junk they put on it. It's a synthetic. Not only is it high calorie and going to kill you with the weight, but it's also poisonous chemicals. I have a list here of 50 ingredients. Well, you don't even have to believe me. When you go into the supermarket, pick up a package, and it has, most of them have 25 to 50 ingredients on them. And those are the main ones. Look, even with the children, they put it, the colored cereals and all those colors and the sugary right where they could see it at eye level. So it's really a crime. It is. I mean, it should be illegal. And our own government, most of the people on those committees are from the big industry also. So do we want to be a slave to people's situations, to our addictions, just like we were, some of us, to alcohol and drugs? What a way to live. It's all about, it becomes so narrow when we're addicted. We come home, we close the shades. And you eat, or when you're in your car and you're eating, you don't even see the beauty of nature around you. When I was alcoholic, my best friend was alcohol. I couldn't wait to get home, and that's all that mattered. I knew the answer to, actually, it was my solution. Big plates of food also, that was my solution. But just like, it's called pleasure. And the other side of pleasures is just as equal amount of pain. I mean, we get into all the spirituality that people looking to, they change their geographical location, they change their spouses, they do all of these things. Job, if only I had more success, more money. So it's that spiritual awakening. But a lot of people, I guess, maybe have it, but towards the food is very, very possible by working the steps and steps of the program. We can't do it. We can't do it. Step 1 says we're powerless over food. Step 1 alone tells us all of that. So we got perception change, that change and that new design for living, having that whole way of thinking towards it. So when look, to get more practical about it, let me tell you this. When you, after this meeting, or even during the meeting right now, be joyful and happy you're here and in the present. Forget about the past and the future, but the whole thing is with the food. Again, like I talked about, the one example, one example can speak about all of life. The one example, this is from God. God's gift is clarity. Clarity. You want clarity in your mind? And not the other stuff that, again, years ago people drank water. The stuff that we have today is synthetic, man-made. And it's made to get us addicted. Look, would you listen to the crack dealer or the heroin dealer on the corner? Would you listen to them for the philosophy of what to do and what made them happy about life? They would tell you the drug did. But we hear that all the time from the food companies. You ever hear the songs? It's like a siren calling. It's like it'll take you home and pleasurable. And that was my solution. And you know what? Once you're addicted, that is the answer. The answer isn't, but it takes you away. It becomes very finite. If you want to experience the infinite universe, the love and tolerance and patience and love and the vibrations around you, get out of the addiction. Again, it's related to the food, but the food we can relate to people and all other situations. So the whole key is this: working these steps, working this program, having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps. It even talks about, I have the big book here. I could read a million things. It talks about on page 25, that transformation, that perception, old ideas become, and 63, being reborn by giving ourselves over to higher power. Ego, easing God out. It's all about Bob. And then when I realized where the problem was with this addiction to food or anything else, the problem was with me. Speakers at these meetings, if they talk about God, a lot of people say to me, Bob, I heard you once talk about a food plan or the different types of foods, and I wish you would talk more about that. And I always say, well, my food plan is this, because no matter how many food plans is this, 12 steps, that's my food plan. There's 12 steps in it, but the whole key is this. Look, it's the same with any problem. You're either in a problem or in a solution. I could come here and tell you a problem I have with my mother-in-law or with somebody else, some clerk in a store, something happened at work. But that's not the solution. That's making it more real. So when we try to diet, we're resisting it. We're making it more real. We're saying this food is so delicious, I have to push it away. But no, it's perception. Look at it and see the poisonous, of it and how bad it really is. And over time, your palate changes. Look, this is the whole problem too with the synthetic stuff they put in foods. Do you understand? They put it there, the hydrogenated oils, the chemicals that are 10 times sweeter than sugar, but it ruins your taste buds. It ruins your whole palate. You got to educate your palate, get used to the healthy things, and then when you have that change of perception, you'll eat broccoli, you'll eat some kind of vegetables, and you'll eat fruit. Oh my gosh, fruit alone, it's unbelievable. It's really sugar, but it has a fiber in which is healthy. So you want that substitute, but the real natural thing. I mean, do you want to? That's the way to live life. Otherwise, you're just narrowing yourself down. You're becoming an addictive person, just like we were, some of us, to alcohol and drugs. Same thing to people. You want to be happy, joyous, and free. The steps tell us. Step 12 says, having had that spiritual awakening. As a result of these steps, step 1 says, I'm powerless. Step 2 says, I had to be restored to sanity. It really tells me to get out of self, a higher consciousness. But you want to know something? The answers to our dieting, the answers to problem with people is in here all the time. We just block it out. When we get centered and we work these steps, the patience, love, and tolerance, and our attitude towards life, towards food, towards our addictions, it becomes so overwhelming, we have God consciousness. And I always bring this up, and a lot of people go crazy when I say this. Look, I don't need more self-esteem. I don't need to think I'm better than people. I don't need more food to make me feel better, dress better, more money, more success. We have here called God esteem. That's humility. The other way is pride is one of the 7 deadly sins. The reason I bring that up is because self-esteem, self. On page 62 in the big book, what does it say? Selfishness, self-centeredness, that's the root of our trouble. Caused by 100 forms of what? Delusion and all of this stuff. Our ego and our minds bring us into all these places, the same with the food. That's the solution, right? The food, right? That's the answer to all my problems, right? So, and when I go to a meeting and people say, look, Bob, when I talk this way, they say, look, some of the people there have real problems. They must be real because they've been talking about them the last 10 years and they haven't been resolved. But I know that when I'm that if I have a problem, I'm the problem. So I don't have to look outside, try to fix anyone or anything. I could just sit there and be happy. If I go to a meeting or somewhere at work and they all, in my mind, usually it's false, I think nobody there likes me, right? So I could just sit there and be happy. And if it's true, they don't like me, but most of the time it isn't anyway. But the joy, if you're looking for people, they're going to fail you all the time. If you're looking for it in food, it's going to fail you all the time. On the other side of all of this all this gloopy food is pain. Not only from the weight and the mental and physical ailments, but also the pain comes from you want more. Desire is the cause of all suffering, right? So when you have that complete psychic change and you see the world through a new pair of glasses, but the food is a great way to get there. If you have an addiction to food, just don't think it's about the food when you work these steps and work the program. It's going to change your whole life. That spiritual awakening, that understand, that comprehension, it's just going to change everything. Steps say it all. And the whole thing is to understand that we're in a society now where it's really crazy. I mean, we're up against, it's like the drug pushers are there every time you turn the TV on, or whatever you're on the internet, driving down the highway. And they put the crack in the foods. It's like, just an example. I guess some people, they'll smoke like marijuana or something, but then they'll put all the other stuff in it. Those crazy things that kill you and stuff. That's what they're doing to our food. We have regular food, but they're putting all the junk in it. I can tell you right now, if you eat, listen to this, if you just eat normally with one ingredient food, you could eat a lot of it. And this whole thing with carbohydrates, low carbohydrates, I say it's what you put on the food, but there's plenty of parts in the world where the whole society is everybody's thin and all they eat is carbohydrates. It's what you put on it. That's what I see. It's what you put on the food. You could take a potato, it could be 100 calories. When you go make French fries, it could be 400 calories. Anything's like that. But the taste buds change after a while. Look, I'll tell you right now, for me, when I have a potato or something like that, I wouldn't have it any other way, or beans or rice. I do put some hot sauce on it, and people always ask, what do you do? But I wouldn't have it any other way. I don't want, oh my God, you put all that sugar. To me, because my palate, I told you, palate change, it tastes like motor oil. All of these foods, even when you go to these supermarkets, they call like Whole Foods, and they have this salad bar there. You think they're healthy, or these health bars, right? They're all, look at the ingredients are in the salad bar that they show you. Oil, salt, oil, and sugar. They call it SOS. You got to remember that this is the standard American diet is called, the acronym is SAD, right? The modern American diet is a mad American diet. It's like mad. So look, this is whole thing here, that the perception changes the way in life and anything.